Hey everybody, Bill in Thailand. Welcome back. So starting this episode, I have been adding weight to my Bachmann train cars, and I'm going to expand that and get just about everything I've got weighted up over the next couple of days. So I'm not going to do a video on just how I weight cars. There are lots of them that are out there. But I will show a few of the basics. So what I did is I did some measuring, just some standard like 2 inch, 2.5, 3, 3.75, 4, 4.8 roughly, because that's sort of the standard size of the cars. 2 inch would be like a caboose, maybe 2.5. Then you'd get up into passenger cars. There could be longer if you've got more modern equipment, but I don't. Over here, or I should say at the top, I've got in grams, because again, everything's metric here. So again, to NMRA standards, roughly 14.2 grams plus 4.3 times the number of inches equal your target weight. You can convert that to ounces and it should align with what the NMRA standards are. So what I did is I did quick calculations and I put what my target weights, I use my shadow for that, of where I want to be to get to, real close to the NMRA standards. So, and I also found that these particular little nuts are essentially 1 gram a piece. So it's easy to add the weight that I want to weigh. So let's take a look at this boxcar, Pensy. It is roughly 3 inches long, so it should be 26.9 grams. Over here, I have a little scale, kitchen scale that I bought, all of $4 at Thai Watsadu, a home improvement center here that has a Casa as sort of their name brand. I've got it set for grams, so let's put the car on it. And it comes in at 17 grams, and I want to be at essentially 26.9, so I take my little nuts. No jokes about the little nuts. We put them on there. You can see it bumped it up 2 grams. So I want to add a number of these until I get to 26, which again, it's going to be then 2 more. Now I'll take off the outer shell of the boxcar, and I'll show you what I do next. This will just be a quick demo. Not all of the weights will fit, and that's okay. I want to get it reasonably close. It doesn't have to be, but anything is going to add weight to these. That's going to give it better trackability. It's going to ride the rails better. So even though I might not hit the target weight, I'm going to be at a good weight to operate the freight cars on the railroad. So I'll set up the camera and just show you real quick what I do. So what I've been doing on these so far is I've been using this Max Bond, the same construction adhesive I've been using to put my styrofoam down, my cork and everything else. It tacks extremely quick. So I'll get set up here and I'll show you what I do. So I've got 1 nut held in needle nose pliers. I will squeeze out just a bit, put it on, and I want to put a decent amount in because I want the adhesive to go into the threads. First one just in the center. Doesn't have to be neat because you're not going to see it anyway, but you don't want to do excess. And manipulating with the entire tube, not always easy, but you can see how elastic this stuff is. And then I'll just drop and put the other one on, and I will, it's very sticky. Oh, okay, that is not going to work out well. Coming in with the hands. Main thing is you want to keep it centered as much as you can on the car. Keep your weight distribution in good shape. Get rid of some of those stragglers on this. And it also works to hold it a little bit closer so I get better control and my hands don't shake so much. And then what I usually do is I do switch over to the other hand, my dominant hand. Put it in, put it down. The adhesive gets into the threads of the nuts, which will hold it better. And I've not had any issues with this stuff. It adheres basically to everything. As you've seen, my fingers get stuck on the whole works here. Anyway, this is what I do. I'm gonna edit most of this out so you just get little snippets of it, but I'll show you the end result here in a minute. So on that particular car, I was able to get all of the weight added. So let's put on my scale again. Make sure it's going to grams, which it is, and it's kind of hard to see. So we'll put the main body on and the top. And we were wanting essentially 26.9. We're at 27, so I'm happy with that. So most of the other cars here are slightly under. It was usually about 1 gram shy of what was being recommended. All of these needed substantial weight. They were just a hair over half of what the NMRA standards were. So I'm going to do a bunch more cars. I'll let the adhesive dry a little bit, even though it's not going to hurt nothing. And then I still have to clean the track, but I should be able to run some trains here fairly quick before I go on to next steps. Back on the layout today, I am cleaning my track for the first time, doing a complete job. So this is like my second paper towel. Put a little dab of turpentine. They sell here for paint thinner and cleaning stuff. Just a little drop on it and just kind of a wipe, passing over the rails. But this right here is from there on that track, and the back track to there. So been sitting, accumulating stuff. This is not a hard press because I don't want paper towel fibers everywhere. It's just a sturdy track. It's been sitting for years, all of it. So the only part that I have left is just through the yard, and I will take care of that. There are some of my weighted cars that I did yesterday. So once I get this done, I let it kind of air dry. You maybe can hear the fan in the background. I'm gonna plug it in and I'm gonna run trains again. So we'll see how everything works here fairly soon. Have the track cleaned and running the first train after having done that. And the track is not glued down at this point. I'm still waiting. I did come in and add a couple of blocks on the ends of that trestle as I was having some sag, which was causing some uncoupling. You can see a little hesitation over here. I do have a feeder. Check that out right there. And I've hit a dead spot. Let's see what we've got going on here. Not very much of a dead spot. And of course that was right over my feeders. Anyway, I figure I'm going to have some of that. You can see it is slowing down over there because I do not have feeders coming up yet on this. I'm not sure what's going on there. check this out. Shouldn't be having any problems on that. Still have to work the cross piece so that I can get it to not be a problem. That's where I'm going to be putting in my nail. So anyway, let me put the engine back on and see if I can get it through that switch. All right, got it through. Let's see if I'm going to make it through the switch here. So far, so good. Okay, good. I do like the added weight in those cars. They are not rocking like you tend to see some of them do. Just want to make sure it's going to go through that switch. And I'm going to come back over here real quick because it's going to come over on this track and see got anything on this room. I can start doing scenery. So I get to that switch in and it's good. Okay. Next time around, pick up the train just where it hit that dead spot. Right through. And stop dead on this one. Right up there. I'm guessing this will behave itself once I get the track glued down, give it that reaction of just touching the track. Alright, so I'm a happy camper. So tomorrow I will start to glue the track down. And then once that's all glued down and set up for a bit, I will take the layout and put it into the other room and I can start doing scenery. So I get to that switch in and it's good. Okay. Next time around, let's take it onto the siding, or onto that cutoff. Let's see if we can get through. I should be able to. Right. I'm going to let it come around and I'll pick it up again as I'm on the cutoff. Pick up the train just where it hit that dead spot. Right through. Stop dead on this one. Right up there. I'm guessing this will behave itself once I get the track glued down, give it that reaction of just touching the track. Alright, so I'm a happy camper. So tomorrow I will start to glue the track down. And then once that's all glued down and set up for a bit, I will take the layout and put it into the other room and I can start doing scenery. So I get to that switch in and it's good. Okay. Next time around, let's take it onto the siding, or onto that cutoff. Let's see if we can get through. I should be able to. I'm going to let it come around and I'll pick it up again as I'm on the cutoff. Do there, and I do not have this one. Well, I do have this one wired up. Oh, probably would help if I would turn on the power. about that? It's funny how that makes a difference sometimes. Not bad. And I still have to hook up that feeder and then those other two over there. Do that at a later point in time. Now let's bring it back and switch it the rest of the way through. Check it through. Come around again real quick. Happy with how it's running. I'm going to bring it around and I'm going to put it on the far siding, and then I'm going to get out my Kato steam engine and passenger train set and give it a whirl on here. Haven't not run that. Bought it 3 years ago, so I'm going to see how that goes. Bring this in, put it on the siding here, and I will turn it power. Slow it down a little bit. And we'll have my own version of ground throws in there soon. Nice and smooth through the switch and onto the siding. Freight cars are riding well. So let's bring it in for a stop. And this is a Bachmann DC engine. There we go, it's off. Kill the power to that one. There we are. Now, let me go get some other equipment and I'll be right back. So I picked this up at Kato headquarters in Japan a few years back, doing some stuff there, and visited the headquarters and got this historic train. Haven't really looked at it much. Now, I can run the engine, which is a 260, and one car, because they have the Rapido type couplers on one side of the car. They've got this style of coupler. Now they've got some other pieces in the kit, or I should say in the package, for couplers, and I'm going to have to put them on because I'm going to run with Rapido at least for a while. Probably next time I go back to the States, I will look to pick up microtrain wheel sets for the freight cars that I've got. I'm not going to be running that many on here, so it's not going to be a huge expense. But I will see what I can figure out for the passenger train, because I want to run this passenger train in particular on here, because it's an Asian style passenger train. But the engine runs nice. So let me show you how this looks. So first time ever run, and smooth like glass. DC unit, bought it specific that way. Beautiful locomotive, and it runs quiet. Let's see how it does on that switch. Does good. Passenger car does good. It's looking good. Let me jump over to here so I can throw the switch. So it goes right through the yard. Good tracking. The wheel sets on the Kato equipment are wonderful. The flanges go through just about anything. Picks up power great. And this will be about the speed that I'm going to be running trains on the layout when I get it done. was on the Kato Bridge. Nice, nice, nice. Good. My happy camper here. Let's see what happens when it hits this spot down here. Which is good. It's through, nice and smooth. Excellent. So there's the other passenger cars. I think I'm going to let this run through and do the cutoff through the yard. So make sure my switch is thrown for that. Okay. And yes, I still have power set on it. Okay. This will be one of my favorite rail fanning spots from the other side once I get the scenery done here. Nice. Okay, running good. And then all right, let's see what happens here. Hopefully nothing. Smooth seated kick. Check that out. Running through, and I still have a little bit of paper towel stuff showing up. Not good. All right, that looks good. I'm going to put this away, and then I'm going to break out an old Bachmann steam engine and see how that runs on this. So here's some old equipment that I had and I brought with me. This is from N Scale from a long time ago, and this is probably familiar to some of you that watched my series for Jerry's build. This was one of my test locomotives I was running on his layout. I'll give it a shot, but I want to pull out this bad boy. I know it works. I don't know if it's going to do much on this layout, but I'm going to give it a shot and see. This one I think still works. This one I think does. This one does. This one is missing a tender, but I've actually got it to run before. And then the rest of these freight cars, if I can assemble them, I can add some weight and I can put them to use. So anyway, I'm going to see if this one works. Give me a minute, put it on the track, and let's see what happens. All right, she's complaining, but she is moving. So it's a 484. I have not run this in, it's been probably 8 years, even a little. So before I put her into service, I will clean everything up. Clean the drivers, the electrical contacts, make sure it's got a little bit of oil where it needs a little bit of oil. Trailing truck is off. I will get that fixed before I have a big derailment. But anyway, it works. That's what I wanted to test. So I spent a few minutes and I did test the rest of the what I think are operable locomotives. So this little 060 here, power pickup is just on it, 6 wheels, tender just couples, missing weight in the tender. Worked, hesitated, you know, it hadn't been run for years. Southern Pacific, same. Growled, moved, needs lube, I'm sure, and a little bit of cleanup probably on the armature and the motor. Same thing for the Santa Fe. had life, just have to give it a good cleaning, get it going. Didn't try this one, like I said, there's no tender for it. See if I can find one sometime, but I've got it in here just in case. And then my little Rocco, put it on, same as the others. She growled, started to move a little bit, hesitant. Hadn't run it for about 2 years now, so I'm gonna have to check, clean it. I never did clean. So I did come back and I did put on my heavy lifelike, ran like a charm, nice and smooth like the Kato steam engine. So I'm happy. Tomorrow I start to glue everything down, get it ready, and then I can put it into the other room and I can start to do more on it. But anyway, that's it for today. I'll put this video together and see if I've got room for anything else. Might come in. Oh yeah, before I call it a night, I need to take these out. I bought them and I really don't have a clue what the road name is on these passenger cars. But they do have the right couplers, the Rapido, so I'm going to take the car out, take a look at it, and I'll show you what I've got here. I bought it a long time ago, and I don't really remember even opening the bag since I bought them. So I have a Rock Island passenger train. Nice. Looks good. I will have some fun getting this on the layout. Not sure what's going to pull it. Maybe my Kato steam engine or the Pennsylvania. Again, I'm not really too concerned about road names at this point in time on the layout. I just want to have things running and running well. So anyway, tomorrow, once I get some other stuff done, I'll take all of these out and set the train up and see what it looks like. And then give it some finger pushes to make sure that I'm not going to have any problems with couplers on my curves, because these are fairly long passenger cars.